In the recent days, the Lord has really impressed on my heart the importance of being a real man. Our culture has so marred the image of what real masculinity is, and what's being produced today is boys in men's bodies who have no idea what's at stake in their home or the world at large. I meet and speak with a lot of people every day. It's a blessing, and at times it's a burden. Why? Well, I hear the real from many about the struggles. Lately, it's been women sharing the realities they are living in relationships. Men not stepping up. Men committing adultery. Men more interested in video games than they are their kids. Men addicted to pornography. Men not serving their wives in humility. It's absolutely disgusting, and I want to turn my attention to men as I share what I'm about to share. And first, let me say, by no means have I arrived, but I recognize my weaknesses, and they're many, and I'm working diligently to improve. The Lord has done a work in me, but it took me recognizing my issues and then turning to Him for restoration. This has led me to my 5 non-negotiables for men, and I want to share them. Number 1, real men do everything with love. The motivating force for biblical masculinity is not physical strength. It's not what kind of job you have. It's not your bank account. It's not how far you can throw a football. It's not how scary you are when you get mad. It's not your hobbies. It's love. This is what makes the engine run. Number 2, real men lead by example. God says a real man commits to following a greater authority, and that's Jesus Christ. A real man commits to sacrifice all else in shadow of discipleship. A real man commits to determined, joyful obedience to Christ. A real man commits to spiritual discipline. A real man commits to abide in the word of truth. And when you make these your habits, you begin to be the example you want to see others become. Number 3, real men stay on guard. Pay attention. Don't be silly. Be serious. And I'm not saying be grumpy. As men, we must be ambassadors of fun and ambassadors of joy. I'm saying don't be silly. You know who's silly? My 2 boys. They're absolutely insane. I love them, but I would not put them in a position to lead, build, or execute anything. Men aren't silly. They're serious, full of life, full of joy, but real men know where they are going and they understand the stakes that exist in their home and the world. Number 4, real men walk in humility. Humility is the greatest Christ-like characteristic, and we are commanded to practice this every hour of every day. Is it hard? Yes. Why? Well, because our pride feels so much better. It's better to our ego, better to our flesh, but it's deceptive. Pride destroys you from the inside out, and it is where all sin stems from. Humbling ourselves is at the center of dying to self. Lastly, number 5, real men give generously. We don't hoard our stuff. We don't chase after riches only to store them up for our own pursuit. We give, and we give lavishly. We don't cling to things that are fleeting. Real men keep their eyes on eternal things and understand that our time on this earth is temporary. And while we're here, we're to use God's gifts to His glory, not our own. Men, I pray you hear these words and you begin to take inventory. Our wives need us. Our kids need us. The world needs men to step up, because I believe a lot of the problems we see in this world stem from men not being men. So the question I leave you with is, will you look within, examine your heart, and make changes where changes need to be made?